This must be a joke.
A herd of zebras on the loose.
So I found the missing zebras, like they're in my yard.
A kinkajou scurrying around a rest stop.
My thought was it was some sort of Pokemon.
A kangaroo hopping down the street. Raccoons swarming a home.
This is something you don't see every day.
And an alligator scare.
The gator of Granite. So it's the dreaded gator. Oh my God.
This is Animals Gone Wild, Washington.
One reporting.
I'm in North Bend by South Fork, the restaurant, and there's zebras running down the street. 4 of them. I'm not kidding.
Okay, that's a new one.
Man, this is the most bizarre thing I've seen.
I don't know if this is a 911 call, but he's being chased by a dog, so it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
Those are just a handful of the 911 calls from North Bend when 4 zebras escaped from a trailer in April. Thank you for joining us for our special show, Animals Gone Wild, Washington. I'm Jessica Janner Castro. King 5's Brady Wakayama shows us the zebra search that became the talk of the town.
Exciting things happen in North Bend.
In this sleepy town, people feel like they're still dreaming.
Zebras are most definitely not running wild anywhere in Washington that I know of, except for now, I suppose.
This must be a joke.
Pictures and videos circulating on social media of 4 zebras out on the loose, escaping from a trailer bound for Montana on the interstate. Hi, buddy. After a couple of hours and a number of sightings, 3 of the 4 animals were corralled by authorities.
It put us on the map, that's for sure.
Unfortunately, there is no map to find the last zebra.
What would you do? Call 911 if you see one? I don't know. But yeah, we're out walking the dogs and seeing if we can find the loose zebra.
He's not alone. Officials with the Regional Animal Services of King County are on the lookout too.
This is the first time that anyone can remember that we've ever been called out on a zebra escape, and you know, hopefully it'll be the last one too.
Animal control officers will be monitoring the North Bend area throughout the week until they find the zebra as it earns its stripes out on the run.
Not too hot, not too cold, and we would figure that you know, if the zebra can find, you know, water and food and some shelter, you know, it could be out there a while.
Everyone hopes the zebra will be found okay to end this memorable saga in this quiet mountain town.
Don't tell me that nothing exciting ever happens in North Bend.
After almost 6 days and many sightings, the missing zebra was safely captured in North Bend. Rescuers were able to corral the animal named Sugar after trying to coax her into a pen for about 3 hours.
Our understanding is that, you know, she was relatively safe. They have incredible kicking power and incredible aim. I've learned more about zebras, you know, than I ever thought I would want to know. So, you know, while cougars are a concern in our area, they have plenty of deer to take. It's not likely that a cougar would have, you know, probably gone after her. And if it did, it probably would have been the worst thing they ever tangled with in its life.
Sugar was taken to Montana, where the group of 4 zebras was originally headed before they escaped. How did an exotic animal native to South America end up roaming around a central Washington rest stop? Well, this little guy was found near Yakima in June. King 5's Drew Mickelson spoke with the state trooper who got the call he will never forget.
Trooper Nick Daly got a call he'd never had before.
When I saw that, my mind kind of got lost in thought because I didn't really know what to do or what to handle just because never heard of it.
An unknown animal was running around a Yakima rest stop. The trooper was then told it was a member of the raccoon family, an exotic pet known as a kinkajou.
I thought that update was made. I thought it was a joke because my thought was it was some sort of Pokemon. I'm not a very big Pokemon knowledge person, but that's where my mind went to.
With the help of some Department of Transportation workers and a cardboard box, they got it in the back seat of another trooper's car. The Department of Fish and Wildlife ended up capturing it and taking it to the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium.
Poor thin little guy. He really is thin.
After a full exam, head veterinarian Dr. Karen Wolf says it's a young male, overall healthy, but underweight. And before it was sedated, very aggressive.
He does not like people. He has an attitude. He has very sharp teeth, the teeth that he has that are intact. He would make a terrible pet.
Trying to prevent it from running off, either getting lost, ran over, or becoming prey, because earlier there was a big crow that was circling around when it saw it. So I figured it was small enough to be prey.
Trooper Daly and investigators don't know where the kinkajou came from, if it escaped from a car or someone tried dumping it off. The trooper just hopes he helped out.
You know, later that day I was thinking, man, I only thought the zebras would be the wildest animal we saw here in Washington.
The kinkajou now has a new home at Trevor Zoo in upstate New York. He also has a new name, Oscar. Despite his cuddly appearance, zookeepers say he still has a bit of an attitude.
That is how Oscar got his name. He is a little bit grouchy.
Zookeepers hope Oscar will get along with the zoo's female kinkajou and potentially be mating partners. For several weeks in September, neighbors in the Puyallup area were on the lookout for an escaped emu. Surprisingly, the 5'5" tall bird was not easy to find. King 5's Cornelius Hawker spoke with the emu's owners.
There are 2 babies.
Raising emu.
This is the one that got out, the darker one.
Is a labor of love for Rachel Cassidy.
They're just weird little birds, and the boyfriend wanted to try raising one, and then we liked them so much we just kept getting more because they're social. You can't really have just one.
They had 3. The third one is now missing.
It's been a rough one. We've done scouring all the forests around, all the little green belts, hiking in. It's been a nuisance, but no signs of them yet.
The gate to their backyard was open, a gate Rachel says only a human could open.
Unfortunately, kind of thinking somebody maybe came in either to take them or just to take other stuff in the yard and left the gate out, but the fact that nobody has spotted them in the area tells me that somebody has them.
Rachel and her family have notified the proper authorities about their missing emu.
If you see the emu out and about, don't chase it into the road. She's really, really sweet. Don't be scared of her, but she has no knowledge of cars or traffic, so just try to keep her away from the road if you can. If you have a yard with a fence, try to guide her that way, and then call us and we'll come get her.
In Pierce County, Cornelius Hawker, King 5 News.
Some good news. The missing emu was found safe after 3 weeks on the loose. Turns out it was stuck in an area near the property where no one could see it. It's not clear if it was there the entire time. A homeowner near Poulsbo called deputies for help after about 100 raccoons swarmed her property. Take a look at these little guys. She told them she felt threatened and was unable to get to her front door. King 5's Maddie White has that story.
A Poulsbo woman.
She felt that the raccoons were threatening.
Called 911 after her home was surrounded by raccoons.
This is something you don't see every day.
35 years ago, you first started feeding some raccoons, and then when all of a sudden did it explode like this?
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago.
She told deputies she'd been leaving food out for the raccoons since the 1980s. Among the raccoon population here in Poulsbo, word got out about the midnight all-you-can-eat buffet. By October 3rd, nearly 100 of them had invaded the woman's property, deputies tell us, swarming around her home night and day.
They were shocked. They had never seen that many raccoons in one place.
Even neighbors like Wendy Kronk,
I'd say it's been about the last month or so I've noticed it.
Are also seeing an uptick.
I've had several raccoons in the yard recently. My dogs have gotten in a scuffle several times with raccoons. I even had to take one of my dogs to the vet after tussling with a raccoon. And I've also noticed there's been a lot more hit raccoons up on the main road here.
Trapping and relocating them will cost the woman $500 per raccoon. Deputies say she's concerned. Kronk just hopes the issue gets resolved soon.
I do hope that somebody steps in and helps her, take care of this problem, and hopefully she'll quit doing it.
In Kitsap County, Maddie White, King 5 News.
I know for a fact I would be dead if they didn't come back in. I would just be gone.
A group of women fight off a cougar that attacked their friend on a biking trail. Plus, a big scare in Granite Falls after police tell people to watch out for an alligator. And a kangaroo leads deputies on a chase through Pierce County streets. In July, the town of Granite Falls was put on high alert after police posted this photo warning of a 10-foot alligator roaming the area. Turns out it was not a gator. Instead, it was an indoor family pet that somehow got out. King 5's Connor Board joined the search team looking for Taz.
While most people at Frank Mason Park are trying to catch a fish.
That's why I'm walking back and forth here. He's scoping the bank, so he's around here somewhere.
Shanna Duncan is trying to catch something a bit bigger.
He recognizes Taz and different noises.
Something that has caught the attention of the whole town of Granite Falls.
Some guy drove by and he's like, hey, don't stand so close to the bank. There's supposed to be like a 10, you said like a 10-foot alligator crocodile.
But it's not a crocodile she's looking for.
The Amazon lady stopped me and she's like, there's a gator, there's a gator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, lady, it's my lizard.
She's looking for Taz, her 4-foot-long lizard who somehow escaped her house.
He's an Argentine white tegu.
She found out he escaped after this picture was posted to Facebook. The Granite Falls Police Department warning people of an alligator spotted in the woods in town not far from Shanna's home. Her son Avery saw the post and told her a gator was on the loose.
I'm the only person I know with a 4-foot lizard.
That's when she realized Taz had escaped.
I say, Avery, I think that's Taz.
She then started letting people know online it was not an alligator.
It's the dreaded gator, oh my God.
But it was her beloved pet lizard, asking people to not harm him.
He's very docile. You can hug him. He sleeps with my cats. Very beloved pet. So we've had him for 10 years. He's part of the family.
She says the sheriff's department has been searching and the drones were used in the area.
I found a shoe.
And while she continues to search herself following lizard tracks she saw in the dirt at the lake near her house, she's thankful the community now knows it's not the gator of Granite, just her lizard, Taz.
I appreciate everybody so much just helping my family find this guy. And he's still loose, but I'm pretty confident we'll find him.
And she was right. The next day, Taz the lizard was found safe in a barn about a mile away from her home. Take a look at this. Video shows a mother running away moments after a river otter pulled her child into the water in Bremerton. As the family ran off, you can see the otter follow not too far behind, but eventually staying back and wandering the dock. Here's King 5's Cornelius Hawker.
When we do see this, on the rare occasion that it does occur, it's for territoriality or protecting its own pups, if it's a female protecting its own pups.
Washington's Department of Fish and Wildlife says a mom was walking with her child down this dock at the Bremerton Marina. They say a river otter then attacked, pulling the kid into the water, scratching and biting. The mom quickly yanked the child out of the water and ran while the otter chased them. The child was treated at a hospital in Silverdale. While river otter attacks on humans are rare, just 6 reported in Washington over the last decade, the damage they can do is serious.
So I had really large bite wounds on each cheek. I had a really big kind of gash on this left side of my eye here. Luckily it didn't get my eye, but it was just very close. It bit through my nose.
Jen Royce lives in Bozeman, Montana. She was attacked by a river otter last summer. The damage, as you heard, was extensive, seen here in these pictures.
My main goal after this is just to try and help spread awareness. You know, I don't want people to go out and kill otters. That's not what this is about. It's just about trying to be more prepared in nature.
Admittedly, this is the image that comes to mind when people think of river otters. Cute, curious critters, but Jen says it's important to remember they're wild animals.
Not to let your guard down, and hopefully if someone learns something from my story that helps prevent this in the future, then I feel like that's why I'm still here.
In Bremerton, Cornelius Hawker, King 5 News.
Oh no. Hopefully it doesn't go through that hole.
Shoot. This was definitely not your average police chase. State troopers wrangled this kangaroo in Parkland back in July. Troopers were called out for a traffic hazard near 158th Street, only to find the kangaroo jumping in the roadway. They waited for backup before trying to catch it. Eventually, a trooper tackled the kangaroo and got it back to its owners. We are remembering Shyla, a gray wolf at Woodland Park Zoo who passed away in October. Earlier this year, she received a pacemaker in a groundbreaking surgery that helped extend her life. King 5's Sebastian Robertson has the story.
Hi, Shyla. Hello.
As animal keeper Karen McCrae does her daily rounds, the animals she tends to have learned to pick her out of a crowd.
I think she sees me now.
Shyla the wolf has been under her care since the gray wolf was 6 years old.
Hi.
That's why when Shyla the wolf started losing her balance earlier this summer, her caretaker noticed.
My heart just dropped when I saw that because I knew it was serious.
The veterinary team at the Woodland Park Zoo,
the heart was not beating like it should,
including Dr. Tim Storm, performed a complete medical exam and quickly narrowed in on the problem.
Her heart was working well, except for the fact that the rhythm was wrong. My assertion was that this is a rare instance where we have a probably fatal condition that we can pretty easily fix if we're able to put that effort into it.
For a human, the solution is often a pacemaker, a medical device that uses electrical pulses to stimulate the heart muscle. A device that, as far as the zoo believes, has never been implanted in a wolf. That changed on June 12th. It took the surgery team just 1 hour to implant this small, life-saving device into the sick animal. The surgery was a success, and after a short recovery, Shyla is back and drawing a crowd.
I'm so thrilled. It's so great to see her walking around and acting like a normal wolf.
Now that she has the pacemaker, she seems like 5 years younger.
Standing strong is a symbol of both science and nature. In Seattle, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.
The attack just happened so fast.
Still ahead, how a Kenmore woman was able to survive when a cougar pinned her to the ground. Plus, a Snohomish County nonprofit now has a bigger space to help out injured wild animals. Orca lovers believe history was made on Whidbey Island's Penn Cove in November. They saw the southern resident L-Pod swimming far into the cove for the first time in more than 50 years. King 5 reported on the Orca captures in 1970 in Penn Cove, where businesses trapped and captured whales. The Orca Conservancy claims the animals pass down information from generation to generation. Experts say it's possible the orcas were looking for a place to get out of the wind and rest, or that younger generations are open to exploring new places. A Kenmore woman says she's grateful for the quick actions of her friends when a cougar attacked her and bit down on her head. It happened in February, and take a look at this photo. Under that bike is the cougar being held down by a group of women. King 5's Julie Calhoun spoke to them about those terrifying moments.
They're amazing.
Carrie, Annie, and Tish are competitive cyclists and have been riding together for at least 5 years. But on February 17th, a ride would turn into a fight for Carrie's life.
And the attack just happened so fast.
A group of 5 women started riding from Tish's home in North Bend and made it to Cocoa Creek Trail near Snoqualmie. Then 19 miles into their ride, 2 cougars ran out from the brush. One kept going into the woods, the other lunged at Carrie.
From the time we saw the cougars to the time it took Carrie off her bike was about 3 seconds.
1 second, I'll say.
So we didn't have a chance to face off with them to scare them away or anything.
I just remember getting tackled from this side and then ending up at the other side of the road.
I immediately tried to choke the cougar, which was like choking a rock.
The women used sticks and a large rock to try to get the cougar off Carrie, but it had her face clenched in its jaw.
I knew every second what was going on, and I was doing my own, poking at it and trying to poke his eyeballs out and get up his nose and pry his mouth with my hand.
15 minutes into the battle, a small moment of release, and Carrie was able to get away. The group managed to get a bike on top of the cougar and hold it down until help arrived.
Carrie's just laying there by herself, and we just kept saying, "Are you doing okay?" And she would just give us a little bloody thumbs up that she was doing okay.
A fish and wildlife officer got there and shot and killed the young cougar. Carrie suffered severe damage to her face and permanent nerve damage, but says thanks to her friends, she made it out alive.
I think it's the epitome of true friendship and love is action.
I know for a fact I would be dead if they didn't come back in. I would just be gone.
We just did what we had to to do, and part of it was just primal instinct. Just get in there and fight.
Mama
fight
bears.
for a life.
Yeah, the cougar wasn't going to take us cougars down today.
In October, the women who saved their friend's life were awarded the Carnegie Medal at Seattle City Hall. During the ceremony, Carrie thanked them for their bravery.
They spent near 50 excruciating, exhausting, fearful minutes in that fight, never giving up. To have a hero is an indescribable feeling. I not only have one, but 4 heroes in my life.
The Carnegie Medal is an honor reserved for civilians who risk death or serious injury to save the lives of others. More wild animals need our help. Earlier this year, Linwood-based nonprofit PAWS was running out of space, so they decided to open the new PAWS Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. King 5's Farah Jadran has a look inside the space.
This baby otter is one of thousands of animals cared for every year in Linwood before being released back into the wild. Nonprofit PAWS knows the need for wildlife rehab services is rising.
We have seen over 75% increase in the number of calls that have come into our wildlife center. People who have seen injured or abandoned wild animals and wondering what to do in those situations.
But soon, this life-saving work will be done at the new 25-acre PAWS Wildlife Rehabilitation Center in Snohomish. It's a nearly $50 million project, 15 years in the making.
Just far enough away from the urban areas that people will still drive here, but it's secluded enough that it's beneficial for the animals, away from human sights and sounds, which is better for their recovery.
Seals and waterfowl will feel right at home at the aquatic center. Other enclosures are designed for birds, raccoons, bobcats, and larger carnivores. Right now, PAWS can only care for 6 baby bears at a time. Now they can help up to 30 bears with additional outdoor pastures. Plus, birds can stretch their wings and recover faster in the new flight track.
The birds will be able to fly 360 degrees, where right now in Linwood or even at the other raptor rehabilitation enclosure, they're able to just fly back and forth.
The current surgery room is a mere 85 square feet. Imagine working on a big bear in that tiny space. The new one is 450 square feet with 2 operating tables. The campus is complete with an x-ray room and the only oil bird washroom in the state. Any animal harmed by an oil spill would come here. For the 160 species helped by PAWS, the mission is always the same.
We're not a sanctuary, so animals come to PAWS in order to be rehabilitated and then put back in the wild where they belong.
Thanks for joining us for Animals Gone Wild Washington. You can check out more specials on King 5 Plus.